Alright, here we go. I am going to install a Mishimoto Clone oil catch can that I purchased off Amazon for 28 bucks. I'm going to install this on my 2012 Chevy Impala. This can I will link to in the description has 4.5 out of 5 stars, about a third the cost of a Mishimoto 3-port unit. Right away I will tell you it comes with this bag, these crappy little aluminum push-on fittings and a couple of self-drilling screws. Throw them in the trash. What I'm going to do on the Impala here, I picked up 6 feet of 3/8 inch ID inner diameter fuel hose. I got 4 of these worm style hose clamps, 2 3/8 MIP or MPT male pipe thread to 3/8 hose barb, and I got a 3/8 inch MPT male pipe thread, yeah that's it, plug to plug one of the ports because there are 2 inlets, 1 outlet. We're only going to use 1 inlet. And then I purchased a 45-degree coupling, because when you look at the way these go on, they're sticking out at weird angles. So what I wanted to do was get this to more closely resemble this. And then another bushing to put in there. So far I have mounted the mounting bracket on the car right here on the core support. The little bracket that comes with it is bent at a 90-degree angle. I pounded it flat, and I got some Hex-Head self-drilling screws, and then I just hit it with a little spray paint. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to mount the can right here. You take your engine cover off, and then you go back here and look on your valve cover. And what you have, you're going to want to disconnect. There's a hose here to here. You're going to want to disconnect this hose and both of these fittings. So I will do that. So I have gone ahead and removed this Pcv hose. This side goes to the valve cover and this side goes to the intake manifold. I have cut my fuel hose into 2 pieces. I have put Teflon tape on all my fittings. And we are going to go over here to the can. Now with the outlet facing you, I'm going to plug the rightmost port. Then I will install the rest of the fittings. And here it is after all the fittings are installed. Still not quite pointing out the same direction as the outlet, but I'll live with it for now. It is with the reservoir removed. Like Tom Hanks said on Saturday Night Live all them years ago, he's got Mishimoto guts, what more do you want? And here we go, mounted under the hood. Good and sturdy. We're just right above the cooling fan there. Real good sturdy spot. Our outlets are pointing ahead where I want them. Next up we will be modifying the Pcv. I admit when I was pulling this off the upper intake I ended up cracking this hose. It's supposed to fit together like that, and this little foam piece went over the top of it. So that'll make this end easier This one I'm going to need to, I think, slice this plastic tube off here. You can tell it's like heat shrunk on here. This side is all one piece. So I'm going to put this inside the fuel line, put a clamp on it. This one, shave that off, stick that in the fuel line, clamp it. We'll be ready to put those on the car. I actually didn't slice it across. I sliced it right where it bevels down to get it a little, make it a little easier to get in the hose. This one went on no problem. Went in there, we're clamped up, ready to go. And I'm going to try to get that one in the other. A little effort, a little WD-40, we got her in there. I didn't quite get it all the way in there, just enough to get the hose clamp on there, so she ain't going nowhere. Now you notice, when you take this side off, there's a nice little tang that you have to pull back, and then this thing just pops right off. This one is in your intake manifold down like that. You see there's those two little cam arms on there. You'll need to twist it up and pull it out. It's going to need to go in the same way and drop straight down. So your hose is going to be hanging down like that, and you're going to try to not kink this line when you run it. So next up, we're putting them on the car. Now we're at the car. I'm going to fish. First we're going to go, this is the one going to the Pcv on the valve cover. This is going to go to the inlet. I'm going to fish this under the intake tube. And we're going to poke it out back here. Trying to see it here. Trying to see it and hold the camera. You can see the PCV is right there. We're just going to snake this right in. I think I'm going to go under this connector here. This is tricky, trying to hold the camera and click it on. There we go, we are clicked on. Now you can see I got her running back here. I put a little slack in this line just to be able to move it around. We'll trim her right here. We're gonna fish this one through. Same deal. I will attempt this as I'm holding my phone. You know, might be easier to go the other way. Or not, this is going fine. See, we're right back there. There we are. Now, stick that back in the hole there. Much easier to do this with two hands, I'll tell you that right now. Alright, check it out. She's in there now. Make sure she's in. Spin her down. Lock her in place. Let's see, she wants to move. I'm going to need to zip tie this to get this to stay in place. You can see it's moving. And we don't want that. This thing will just shoot straight back out. So I'm going to zip tie these lines together. Take some pressure off here. Okay. another thing here, make sure you don't mix up your hoses. Alright, the outlet line is going to go to the intake manifold, this second line we just put in. The input will be the one coming off the PCV valve. Alright, and here's the finished product. What I went ahead and did is I wrapped one zip tie around both of the lines and then put another one down the middle to keep them separated. And I made sure that I wasn't touching any heater hoses. If I can get in down there, I zip tied it to one of the electrical conduits down there. I kept it above the fuel pump. Yeah, the camera's not focusing. But you can see the one in the back. It's the first one I did to keep that one fitting from turning. I got a shadow here. There we go. See, now we're nice and locked in. So there we go. I'm gonna update this maybe in 1,000 miles. See how much oil I've collected, and maybe again after that oil change. I have been running the CRC? The CRC GDI intake spray every oil change. I think this spring I'm gonna pull the manifold and run a scope down and see what the intake valves look like, and probably end up manually cleaning them. This car's got 145,000. When I bought it, it had 122. I've switched over to what is that? Pennzoil. Oh, here it is. Pennzoil Modern Engine. And I also did the Pcv Mod, which, if you haven't heard about, I will link to it in the description. You basically take the PCV out and you drill the orifice holes a little larger. After I did that, I noticed the oil consumption went down considerably, because I was probably going through 2 quarts every 6,000 miles. Now I'm thinking maybe, yeah, about 3/4 of a quart maybe. I haven't even gotten a full quart. And the oil change intervals have been pretty consistent, around 6,000 miles. So there you go. Oil catch can on a 2012 Chevy Impala 3.6 LFX. Thanks for watching.